I ran into you somewhere, and Rihanna hadn't. She had really never even been heard of at this point. And you walked up to me and said, "That's my artist." And I was struck by that. I'd never forget those words. "That's my artist." And you were proud, man. And you were like, "Wow, this is a discovery of mine." And then she exploded, and then you know, she lit up. How hands-on are you in terms of managing her career?
Well, we actually manage her now. We didn't manage her in the beginning. I signed her as an artist on Def Jam.
How'd you know? Where do you meet? Where do you find a girl like that?
She actually walked into my office. She has a lawyer, Scott Felcher, and he knew Jay Brown, who works with me, and they made the introduction. He played him this song, Upon the Replay, which was her first single she had already. And she walked into the office, and you know, I heard the record, and I was really afraid of the record. It was so big that I thought the record would be bigger than her.
Right.
I thought the record, she would be the Upon the Replay girl.
Forever.
Yeah, but I took the meeting anyway. I said, let me just meet her. And
beautiful
when
girl.
I met her that day, I knew she was a star. Like, just her look, the way she walked into a room and her confidence, and she performed in my office.
And she was, what, 17 years old at that point?
She was 16.
16, and she has the confidence of it. She's like an old soul in a sense, right?
Absolutely.
So she walks in your office, and what, she just belts out a tune?
Belts out a tune, she performs, and I tell her, there's no way out of this office. I signed her that day.
Wow. When she's your artist, she must be generating a fortune, right?
Yeah, well.
I mean, if you retired tomorrow, you could just run her career and make a ton of dough. Am I correct?
No.
I'm wrong?
No, I have expensive taste.
Oh, you do?
Jaguar Wright is stirring up trouble again with a shocking revelation. First, she says that Rihanna may have been trafficked to Jay Z. Now, she says that producer Evan Rogers found Rihanna at 3 a.m. in a hotel room on the island where she is from without any adult supervision when she was a child.
Let's talk about Rihanna, the diva Rihanna. She's from Barbados?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
Bayesian.
Okay, she's Bayesian. How did you come in contact with her? I mean, did you fly over there?
No, Jay Brown had actually bought me the song. She has a song right now, and it's I wouldn't say massive because of her roots, but she has this outrageous song called Upon the Replay. And he played that song for me, and I was scared. I was like, that song is too big for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a new artist, when a song is that big, it's it's hard to come back from. And I don't sign songs, I sign artists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Won't you break down the difference between that? Because the viewing public might not understand that.
Some people chase a hot song for a minute, and then they sign, based on the song. I want to sign it based on an artist, based on, or based on the swagger, based on the level of talent, based on the writing, So I was a little reluctant when I first heard the song, and then, he kept going, Jay Brown, he kept being persistent. I was like, you know what, bring her by. And when she walked into our office, I was like, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, it was just something about her. And then she performed the song, and I was like, okay. Then, we sat down and we talked, and they were talking about how she would stay in the studio and try to get the verse over, and then come back the next day. I was like, oh, work ethic, everything is there. So we signed her that night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 a.m.
Wow.
That day, I was absolutely certain.
How often does that happen? I mean, that's
not often.
That's unheard of, right?
That's not, yeah. I mean, to get lawyers to draft up contracts, and then the other side to agree to contracts in 10 hours that's retarded.
Now, what would her market be? I know Sean Paul, started the resurgence of reggae or dancehall music on a global level.
See, the thing is, it'll appeal to everyone, because she's not really like just a specific dancehall artist. Her roots and her culture comes through when she's singing, but she's really like an R&B artist. With an outstanding voice. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to get her caught up in that trick bag, but at the same time, I don't want her to ignore her roots. So she's not like chatting or anything. Like, she sings. It's just that her roots come through and her culture come through in her music. Okay.
Did she actually do an audition for you? Like, did she dance and sing?
Yeah.
How did that go? What did she do?
She was just starting her moves out. She didn't have all her moves together, but the way she moved, like, it was natural. It wasn't counting. It wasn't like 1, 2, 3, 4. It wasn't systematic. Like, if you look at some videos, you could look and you'll see people counting while they're dancing. You know, 1, 2, 3. It wasn't none of that. It was all natural. So I was like, okay, even if she don't know the routine, she can be taught the routine.
Rihanna was put on a private plane and ended up in a boardroom with Sean Carter, aka Jay's. Rogers has said that he was on holiday with his wife in Barbados, Rihanna's home country. Rogers said Rihanna just walked up to him on the beach and started singing.
Part of my culture, so I grew up dancing all the time.
Absolutely.
And the talent, I just started singing, inspired by Beyonce, people like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston.
Got a lot of good role models out there these days. So then how did the big record break happen? Understand Jay Z was very intrigued with you and signed you to a contract, right?
Yeah, so we just set up a meeting with Jay Z. I met with him.
Were you nervous in the meeting?
What? Nervous is an understatement.
Yeah,
I was a mess.
And he just signed you right on the spot.
But the minute I met him, like, the jitters just went. They made me feel so comfortable and welcome and at home. The jitters just went, and I was able to perform for him and audition for him comfortably.
But he was just as taken with you as you were with him. Right?
I don't know.
He wouldn't let you out of the office till you signed that contract.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't let us leave, and I felt honored.
Wright specifically was asked if Rihanna was going to the US. She said, "It's starting to sound that way, don't it now?" She also says that Rihanna's dad later picked up a $500,000 check for his daughter's behind. This makes us think that Rihanna's record ante might need a closer look.
What would it take for Jay Z to go down like Diddy did?
I don't know. But I got an idea that Evan Rogers is going to help me figure that out.
And who is Evan?
Evan was the producer who only seemed to work on teeny bopper projects, who discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from, with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another, without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter, without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some motherfucking niggas you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
So you're saying that the rumors are true. There are rumors circulating that Rihanna was actually trafficked here. Are you saying that
Starting to
that's...
sound that way, don't it? Because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughter's ass. Maybe we should look more into that album, Auntie. That album cover was disturbing. A child bride with a crown over her head and blood smeared on her face. I don't know. How don't people see SOSs anymore?
Wright also finds the record cover disturbing because it shows a child bride with blood on her face and a crown on her head. Now, for years, people have said that Jay Z slept with Rihanna when she wasn't old enough.
I want you to think about this. Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it.
In the beginning of my career, I remember Pun the Replay started doing really well. And he came up to me at a showcase and he said, "You must be a really great person because great things keep happening for you. Don't ever change who you are. Always remain humble, the same." And it kind of rings in my ear. Like every day I hear that. And it stuck with me. And I have a lot to be grateful for.
Make a cupcake. Yeah, but I mean, whatever. Go for a little. Make a cupcake. Yeah, but I mean, whatever. Go for a little. Make a cupcake. Yeah, but I mean, whatever. Go for a little.
Where you go?
A lot of people think that Jay Z is happy and loves Rihanna, but Solon scolded him in the elevator for cheating on her sister with Rihanna.
Well, first I met a producer. I was introduced to him through one of my friends at school, and she knew this producer. I met with him. We finally finished the demo. We sent it to a few labels, and Def Jam was the first label to call back. They were the most enthusiastic, so I had to go meet and audition for Jay Z. And after the audition, he signed me right there that same night, and that's how I got started.
You can have 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Business, man. He who writes checks with the hand that don't write.
Which happens to be Warner Brothers.
There you go. So, I guess she's going the safe route with it.
I'm not going the safe route. I'm going the real route. I don't have a man tricking on me. I have a corporate sponsor, and I'm filled with that.
That's dope.
And I also want to say that, you know, I'm not encouraging any of the ladies to go out and get sugar daddies.
Excuse me.
But if you have that, then whatever floats your boat.
I don't mean to interrupt, but ladies, did you hear that? Because I kind of get offended when my shorty sings sponsor to me. I love the song. Okay. Beautiful song. But when she sings it to me, it's like,
I mean, if that's how she wants to take it and she wants to sing it to you like that, then she can, because that's her interpretation of the song.
I think you're getting her in trouble.
No, I'm not. I'm defending her.
He be tricking on these joints. You don't know better. That's what it is. See a brother like me, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm just having girls give me stuff and shit. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, if you know, a woman can be a sponsor as well. Like, people just think that it's so one-sided because the female is singing the song. But that's why I use the term sponsor and not sugar daddy. But my definition of a sponsor is whoever is distributing your.
You know what? Speaking about what you've been through in the past, few years, a lot of us know that you had some setbacks. That you were signed at a very young age, and then there was the whole issue with Jay Z. Have you and Jay Z yet met and made amends, and you're at a point where you've moved on?
Well, I'm definitely at a point where I've moved on, but there was never any drama between me and Jay Z.
Okay.
What a lot of people don't realize is Def Jam is a corporation. It's not just Jay Z. Okay. So they all came to a collective decision to let me go. First of all, I was never signed directly to Rockefeller. I was signed to Def Jam. L.A. Reid signed me. It was his decision to let me go.
Okay.
So,
The reason I ask, because everyone, always says you know, oh, the whole thing with Jay Z.
Yeah,
and
everybody said that.
Jay Z took her under his wing, and Jay
Which
Z
he
was gonna
did.
make her a star, and then Rihanna came in, and then Tara Marie was pushed to the side. You
Well,
know,
actually, me and Rihanna, we were both signed. Well, I was signed by L.A. Reid. Rihanna was signed by Jay Z and Tata. And when my album was done, it was very urban, so he wanted to stamp it with the Rockefeller stamp. So, you know, I was never directly signed to them, and me and Rihanna, we came in at the same time, basically. So it was not when she came in, they pushed me to the side. She was doing different kind of music than I was, pop music, and her single went #1, Ponder Replay. And my single was doing very well on the urban charts. So, you know, people always either say, are you and Jay Z cool, or are you and Rihanna cool? And it's like, it's never been a problem with me and Rihanna. Let's just say if it was a decision or a choice between me and Rihanna for a Def Jam. And that has nothing to do with her.
okay.
So I have no harsh feelings toward her or Jay Z or anybody.
Would you actually work with Rihanna?
I mean, I don't know. I guess, yeah. Why not?